Comparison is a trap. It really is. And dude, we know it. Yet we still fall for it. Because think about this. When you compare yourself to someone else, Sean, do you really feel better when you walk away? No, you don't. You actually feel worse. Because when you compare yourself to someone else, it makes you feel more like a loser. It makes you feel like, man, I should have started 10 years ago. Should have been done this. Oh my God, I'm behind. And that comparison, man, it goes on and on and on and on and on. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. The grass is greener only where you water it. Today on The Sales Life, we're continuing on in Joshua Medcalf's book, Chop Wood, Carry Water, about the power of perspective and also the thief of comparison. So stay tuned. All right, TSL, let's get it. Welcome back to another edition of The Sales Life. And The Sales Life is just not for those in the sales profession. It's for those who are building the life skills of selling. Because you don't get in life what you deserve. You get in life what you negotiate. And what you deserve depends on how well you negotiate. How well you negotiate through the ups and the downs, through the good times, through the bad times, through the times that you've been cheated, that you've been wrong, that people have been jealous, put you down, pointed you out, called you out, or you bottomed out, got demoted, got divorced, whatever. All these different times, man, how well you negotiated through those times depends on what you deserve. Because that's what life's going to do, man. Life's going to say, here, you deserve this. So welcome. I'm so happy that you are here for another episode of The Sales Life. And dude, as promised, I was going to do this tomorrow, but I just ran with it. That's one thing that I love about The Sales Life is whenever we want to go live, dude, we go live. And be sure and share today's episode if you find value in it. Also, you hit it on the replay. Let me know what your comments are. So we're continuing on in Joshua Medcalf's book, Chop Wood, Carry Water. And it's a powerful little parable of a book. And in this section that I'm going to talk about today, man, two thoughts kept bubbling up. Comparison and perspective. And, one thing that I love about doing The Sales Life is and how the pieces of the Sales Life puzzle come together is I just talked about comparison and perspective in recent episodes. Episode 588, I think, with Tasia Valenza. She was on there, and she was, one of her favorite sayings is comparison is the thief of happiness. And then in recent episodes, we had Zack Friedman on there of the Lemonade Life. And one of the main switches for him was the power of perspective. And you've got to be able to look at the perspective not only forward, but also to the sides as well. And so we had talked about those things before. And then I pick up Joshua Medcalf's book. And those two words came right back up. Comparison is a trap, isn't it? It really is. And dude, we know it. Yet we still fall for it. Because think about this. When you compare yourself to someone else, Sean, do you really feel better when you walk away? No, you don't. You actually feel worse because when you compare yourself to someone else, it makes you feel more like a loser. It makes you feel like, man, I should have started 10 years ago. Should have been done this. Oh my God, I'm behind. And that comparison, man, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And I think social media has done a tremendous, in a negative way, job of really making us feel like a loser, man. Because there were people that were always doing better than us, but social media now has compressed it where literally, dude, you have access to anyone. And because you have access to everyone, you're able to instantly see how far behind you are, how you're getting lapped in life. And that comparison becomes hollow and it becomes a vicious cycle. And sometimes, dude, you either quit or you veer off the road or you work harder and lose so much as a result. So, dude, you got to put some P on that C. You got to put some perspective on that comparison. Joshua Medcalf writes, comparison, he echoes what Tasia Valenza said, episode 588. Go back and listen to it. Comparison is the thief of happiness, of joy. But he also writes, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. The grass is only greener where you water it. Back to the book, true nobility is not being superior to someone else. True nobility is being superior to your former self, Pat. And Medcalf writes, he says, the person who is able to chop wood, carry water. That person, the one who chops wood, carries water. Whether you're up by 20 points or you're down by 20 points, he crushes the field in the long run. He crushes the field in the long run. Because the person he's crushing is the former version of himself who all he wanted to do was win. And so it goes back, do you want to win or do you want to succeed? And most people say, oh, dude, I want to win. But see, win only has one outcome. This is that comparison. I want to win. I want to do better than him. And so when all you want to do is win, it only has one outcome. And when you're not winning, you quit. But if I instead say, I want to succeed, this is that chop wood, carry water. Even if I'm down by 20 points, these are what these $1 million athletes do. Dude, they want to succeed. Of course they want to be the best. But the best they want to be, they want to shatter all the records. They just want to play maximized to their potential. So they want to succeed. And in the success is wrapped with wins and losses. Because, dude, you can't win much. You can't learn much from a win, can you? But I can learn, what is it? You can win. You can learn a line from a win, but you can learn chapters in defeat. And you have to. So that way, what you can do is you can go back and analyze it. It's like a dog taking a dump, right? When a dog takes a dump, what does he do? He goes back, he looks at it. I don't know what he's looking at, but he goes back and looks at it. But what happens is for us, when life takes a dump on us, we don't go back and analyze it. We just run away from it. Act like nothing happened. No, you got to go back. And even though it stinks, even though I don't want to look at it, I look at those things and I figure out how to succeed better. See, one thing, dude, that you always have to understand is there are always going to be people who are better than you, younger than you, faster than you, stronger than you, richer than you, and more experienced than you. And so when you chase that image, I got to get him. I got to pass him up. It leaves you hollow and depressed. Because many times, man, you're going to reach certain points in your life, and I'm speaking for myself. You're going to reach points in your life and get to certain marks that you just had to have, and you burn the boats at every expense. You burn people around you. You pushed them aside. You didn't have time for them just to get this. And you get there because you were comparing yourself. I got to get his spot. I got to make what he makes. I got to accomplish what he accomplishes. A +1. And you get there, dude, and you realize, is this it? That's that comparison trap, man. I mean, you look at the tragic ending to Tony Hsieh, man. And Tony Hsieh was the founder of Zappos, wrote an amazing book, Delivering Happiness. And bro, when you read the book, it's just like, man, this guy's just the culture he developed, the designing of the business, and how, he almost lost it all. And he came through and Amazon bought it for, I don't know, over $1 billion. And he got to stay on and be a part of that culture. And when I saw the tweet that he died in a house fire, I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Disappointed. But then the story came out even more. That he took himself down this rabbit hole of extreme. He'd surrounded himself with the wrong people and done things in a negative light. He wanted to see how much he could do without. It's not happiness. I don't know what he was comparing himself to. But that man had everything in the world. What we chase and we think, oh, I got to have all this money and then I'll be happy. No, we've seen time and time and time again where people have succeeded, made the money that you want to make. And only to waste it in death. Tragedy. It's terrible. Rakim, in his book, hell, I don't know what the name of the book was, but Rakim, from Eric B. and Rakim, if you listen to old school hip hop, you know who I'm talking about. And his mantra is always be better than yourself. That's it. That's all, Pat. Always be better than yourself. And so when the music industry began to shift, Rakim stayed true to his roots, even though people were saying, dude, you got to shift. You got to chase this thing. He was like, no, always be better than yourself. He was always beating on his craft. Back to the book. Compare and measure. This is important, what Medcalf says. Compare and measure yourself to your own potential. Compare and measure yourself to your own potential. So if I asked you, what is potential? I was thinking about this. Well, potential is, I think I could get to this. And so I looked it up. And potential, the definition, is what's possible as opposed to what's actual. Potential is capable of becoming. Ooh, game changer. So let me ask you a question. If potential is possible as opposed to actual, Are you living a possible life? Or are you living an actual life? And most people live in actuals. They say, this is it. It is what it is. This is all that's meant to be for me. When instead, if you're going to live, compare and measure yourself to your potential, what's possible. It's the only reason why you should look at others, emulate others. It's not that you don't study them. It's not that you don't admire them. It's not that you don't even set that as a goal. But that's not all that's possible. That's what's possible. But there's even more than that. And it shakes you out of this actual life. And are you capable of becoming? That's another version of potential. Are you capable of becoming? Most people say, oh, yeah, man, I'm capable. Yeah, but are you willing? That's different. Are you willing to become? So we talked about in episode, the previous one, 60, what are we on? 607, 606, we talked about that. No, 607, we talked about that. Thanks, ticker. And he was talking about it's the process of becoming, right? That you're building your house the whole time. So Medcalf writes this. I love this. Love this. If it rains, bottle the water. If it's sun shining, plant a garden. Now I added something to it. If someone or something takes a crap on you, plant roses. Because see, even a rose has to go through shit to become a rose. And the point of Medcalf writing that is you have to use what you've been given. And I don't think we take enough stock in the assets that we have in our lives. We're always chasing the other dog's bowl, right? And you have been given so much. You already have right there. Use what you're given. You don't need resources. You need resourcefulness. You need to take stock in what you have. You need to compare and measure yourself to your own potential. You do those things. And you'll succeed. Because see, comparison is a losing bet. Comparison is like playing Russian roulette. Pew, pew, pew. You're going to spin that chamber, and one day it's going to go off. You were playing with it. It's empty. It's hollow. And you keep firing that. It's going to go off and it's going to end. It's going to end your potential. It's going to end your capabilities. Because you lost your perspective. You've always got to maintain that perspective, man. You maintain your confidence. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. Up by 20, down by 20. I'm not losing in life. Just at a deficit right now. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. It's with these goats, man, for these athletes. And you see them and they're down by 20 points. And they don't get phased at all. And then you see the other that doesn't have the right perspective. And they're up by 20 points. And they get phased. They get so emotionally high that they play not to lose. In the goats, chop wood, carry water, 3 points, 1 point, 7 points, little by little by little. 7-play drive, 10-play drive, get the ball back, 1-play drive. Chop wood, carry water, chop wood, carry water. Dude, that's exactly what you got to have in your life. It's exactly what you got to be in your life. You got to keep it simple. And so what I want you to do is chop wood, carry water, and go out there and crush the field. But the field ain't out there. The field is right up in here. All right? Remember, you don't get in life what you deserve. You get in life what you negotiate and what you're willing to negotiate, how you negotiate through all the ups and the downs and the fires and the trials. At the end, life's going to hand you the keys. It says here, you deserve this. If you believe you deserve better, go play to your potential. Remember, the greatest sale that you'll ever make is to sell you on you, because you're more than enough. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays to you. Stay amazing, because you are amazing, and stay in the sales life.